So that when you then listen to Cyril, the squirrel, because his ideas are nuttier than squirrel shit. When you then listen to the squirrel come in front of you, sounding very tired, by the way. He sounded very tired. Like the lies themselves are beginning to wear on him. When you then listen to Squirrel talk about, we'll ease this regulation, we'll ease this restriction, we'll ease that, all of that is absolutely useless. It's doing nothing other than inconvenience people, number one, and number two, create a massive black market in this country, which eventually will see criminals, actual dangerous criminals, move in on. Trust me, the next alcohol ban, if it does happen, and I say if, because these politicians are already fixing the language. They're already fixing the dribbling language of a third wave, they tell us, of this virus. So if or when that alcohol ban comes back and a beach ban comes back, trust you me, there will be a greater number of hardened criminals doing the selling of booze illicitly. Because the scenes on the beach, and I'm gonna share something else, one more point. The scenes on the beach, when people just started deciding, fudge it, we're going to the beach. The scenes there were inconvenient for politicians and they were inconvenient for the media. How were they inconvenient, Big Daddy? I'll tell you how. The expectation was that it's going to be white people only that do this. So that the media can do what they usually do, which is to play us against each other by race. And say, you see, those privileged whites, they would have said, are the ones who are disregarding this government. Why? Because this is a black government and they've never wanted to be governed by a black government. That's the usual line you would have heard from the media. But what prevented them from saying that by and large? It was a mix of people who decided, no, forget this. We're to hell with these politicians. We're going to the beach. Don't believe me? Look at the photos of what happened at Muizenberg. It was very difficult for the usual race baiters to play the race card because it was South Africans of all races. Not that should matter in any event, but I'm making the point insofar as how ordinary South Africans made it difficult for the media elite and the political elite to play their usual games of dividing people by race. Made it very difficult for them. And that's where the problem then became, that's what the problem was, for politicians. Because now they had to say, guys, hang on, Even our so-called constituency, black, Indian, colored voters, are beginning to push back against the tyranny. So that the victory, in inverted commas, because there isn't really a full victory, the only victory will be the elimination of the political elites in this country, period. A proverbial refresh button, and the ending, of course, of lockdown. But the real Pyrrhic victory at the moment of the removal of the alcohol ban, the easing of restrictions, the real victory in that lies not in Cyril giving or taking away your rights. He has no, Cyril's not your God. Cyril Ramaphosa and the government is not your God. Your rights and your liberties are not for them to give or take away from you. Your rights are natural rights given to you by Hashem, if you're a believer, or natural rights given to you by your very existence as a human being. Your rights and your liberty are independent of the state and government. And the real danger here was that politicians realized, Mensa, if we continue here, and we allow these people to keep organizing themselves beyond race, beyond identity politics, beyond whether you're ANC, EFF, whatever. There's even PAC who rocked up at the beach in protest of this thing. The politicians, the political elites realized, if we continue down this track record, we are going to be the short end of the stick very soon. So this was your victory, dear South African. Had nothing to do with Cyril Ramaphosa. He had nothing to do with him being the father of the family meeting, another asinine thing that the media and these political elites are pushing. This idea that government effectively is like a parent. Hey, Voetsek, man. Government is not a parent. It's not your God. It's not your family. It's tyranny. And it's only when you decided enough is enough that they literally took a step back.